I've been a software engineer for a handful of years now, and today I'm going to discuss about 5, maybe plus one bonus thing that isn't actually a bonus thing anymore, but we'll kind of cover what I mean by that towards the end. Well, 5 things that I really enjoy about my job. Now, it's not all sunshine and rainbows, and there's definitely some downsides to choosing this career, which I have a separate video on. I just made that about a week ago, but we're going to focus on the positives here. And generally, I do love my career path and I enjoy my job and I like the company I work for. So just want to make sure that's clear up front. But the very first thing that I really enjoy about being a software engineer is the overall autonomy, at least in my role. Now, this might be different from role to role, but I think generally speaking, software engineers do have quite a bit of autonomy over, basically they have their set of tasks and then it's kind of up to you to figure those tasks out by yourself as much as you can. Now, I do like pair programming from time to time, and that is good to do and is sometimes needed. But generally speaking, I like to be able to just work on my own tasks kind of by myself and do it without too much oversight and just kind of get my tasks done. And I have that autonomy in my job, and I know that that's true for a lot of my software engineering friends. So number one is having that autonomy to just kind of get your tasks done by yourself and kind of move things along without too much oversight. Now, number 2 is going to be the problem solving aspect. Like, if you don't enjoy trying to solve difficult problems, software engineering probably isn't the path for you. And for me, it's very enjoyable to try to kind of piece things together, figure them out. And, every time you solve a problem, you get that little kind of hit of dopamine. And it's actually really enjoyable for me. And each day there's different problems to solve. So it's not like you're trying to solve the same problem over and over again, unless like you're working with dates in JavaScript, that is just always hard. But for the most part, the problem solving aspect of it is really enjoyable for me anyways. And when I'm like deep into a problem, an 8-hour workday can go by and it's like, man, I don't even felt like I worked. So it is really enjoyable from that aspect. Number 3, there's never a lack of new things to learn. And sometimes this can be overwhelming. I'm not going to sit here and say that it's never not overwhelming to learn this new technology or something like this. But generally, I think it would get really boring if you just worked with like vanilla JavaScript all day, every single day, and that's all you did. For me, I've used JavaScript, React, Next.js, Python, Django REST framework, worked in AWS. Now we're starting to work with LLMs and working with more AI stuff. And we do some stuff with Kubernetes and Cypress testing. And there's so many different things that I've learned. And for me, that's really enjoyable and it keeps things interesting. And there's never a lack of kind of new things to learn, which totally, it can get overwhelming. But for the most part, I think it's much better to have a lot of new things that you're learning and to keep moving forward rather than just kind of doing the same stuff each day and you're not really learning new things. I don't think that would be nearly as enjoyable. Number 4 is going to be remote work. I have 2 dogs. One is a German Shepherd named Ragnar and the other is a Border Collie named Bentley. And I just get to hang out with him all day. So it makes my day much more enjoyable. I can take breaks to take them out on walks and stuff. And I really love remote work, minus the remote virtual meetings. For whatever reason, those are super fatiguing to me. But generally speaking, I really like remote work. I'm able to control my schedule, hang out with my dogs, like I said, and it is really conducive to my lifestyle. Now, this, of course, isn't necessarily software engineering specific, but I do think software engineering is a career in which remote work is more doable. And a lot of people that work in tech that I know, especially software engineers that write code most of the day, they at least have partial flexibility in their role to where maybe they're not fully remote like myself, but they at least have a few days of the week to where they can work remotely. And I really love this about this job. Now, number 5 is going to be one that I think most people might think is like the first benefit that you would consider when getting into software engineering. But I do think that if you don't enjoy problem solving, you don't like just getting stuff done on your own, you don't like working on problems on your own, and you don't enjoy learning new technologies, and this career is probably not for you, but I'll be lying to you if I said that this fifth one isn't a major benefit. And that is, no pun intended here, the benefits of software engineering regarding your pay as well as kind of health benefits. Like, I think most software engineers, they make pretty solid money, and they also have pretty solid like health benefits and 401ks, all of that stuff as well. And I think that it's definitely not a get rich quick job, as I don't think that job actually exists, but there's definitely financial and like health benefits of being a software engineer and kind of working in this field. And I'd be lying if I said that that wasn't a large benefit of this job. Now, the bonus one is one that when I first started software engineering, like, I guess I started coding several years ago at this point. And when I first started getting into this career, this would have been a pretty large benefit, but now I'm not so sure. And that is job security. And, when I started, there was a ton of available jobs and there was a lot of job security, but these days it's kind of hard to say. And who knows, AI exists and we all just might be screwed.